Ahoy there, and welcome back to DohMance Dawn for our 101st episode of the podcast, our 90th numbered episode. I'm Luke, he, him, sometimes they, them, and I'm joined by... Who's here to talk about The Simpsons? Who's here to talk One Piece with me? Who doesn't have a third thing to say? Everyone knows it's Janine.
Holy shit, wow.
Uh-huh.
Well...
I told you I had a surprise.
Yes, you did. I did not expect something like this. Anyway, hello, my name is Janine Juliet. My pronouns are she, they, and as the song stated earlier, I don't have a third thing to say.
Yeah, I realized literally moments before recording this, oh wait, is this our technically 100th episode of the podcast, counting the SBSs and the 2 movie specials? So no, this is our 101st.
Wow.
Yeah.
We passed up our... Well, then I'm glad that on our 100th non-numbered episode of, doing this podcast, we saw the episodes of The Simpsons that we did.
Mm-hmm. Because what a wild ride. It's been a while. I'm outside of the show. I've been dealing with home buying, so that's got my brain all sorts of places. Anyone who has gone into the housing market can understand what this is like. I'm glad to get the freedom of talking about One Piece with you, Janine.
Yes, this is our escape.
Mm-hmm. This is our Pina Colada song. I'm cheating on my wife by doing a podcast about a show she has no interest in. And I'm pretty sure you aren't secretly my wife, Janine.
I'm pretty sure, too.
Hell yeah. This is a big 90th episode celebration of I only prepared that one thing and then all the normal work that I do that goes into the show. If you've been with us since episode 1, thank you. If you have friends who would enjoy the show, please tell them so we can make it another 90 episodes. Because I think based on my calendar, let me see. My planning currently only goes up to 136, or we will still be in Whole Cake Island. But that'll be in 2027 in October, so...
You have some time, I think.
Before we get to all those crackers. It's not a racist thing. There's a bunch of guys called Cracker. They're white, but that's a whole different thing. That would be when we hit 800 episodes of One Piece.
Well, I guess if someone types on a typewriter long enough, you get to the racism
Cracker
part.
button?
The cracker button, yeah.
Yeah, we aren't rebranding as Cracker Barrel anymore. We are rebranding as Cracker Button.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, in this, our 90th episode, we are hitting our 550th numbered episode of One Piece that we're doing. Technically, it's under because there's still the stuff that we skipped, because eventually we will get to the Toriko episodes, but that's not right now. If you know anyone who wants to come on this podcast and talk about Toriko, Tabasco, let us know. We have social media. We have an email. You can email us at dohmancedawn.com or dohmancedawn@gmail.com. We have gotten emails from fans there before, and I enjoy getting emails, or you could join our Discord. These episodes initially ran between April 29th and June 3rd of the year 2012. This week we are covering a totally fun thing that Bart will never do again. The Spy Who Learned Me, Ned and Edna's Blend Agenda, and Lisa goes gaga.
I don't think they mean for you to pronounce it like that.
I am pronouncing Lady Gaga correctly every single time.
Oh my god.
So, the first one is a totally fun thing that Bart will never do again. Bart wants to go on a cruise, and so he sells everything he owns to try and afford it, but he still comes up short, so the family joins in, selling some of their things for money so they can go on this cruise ship. Once on board, They get free upgrades and have a lot of fun, but then Bart realizes the cruise is going to end. He fakes a pandemic and jams the communications with the outside world. The cruise descends into a dystopia, and Bart still has fun, but eventually the family figures out that Bart faked the whole thing. And when they reveal the truth to the rest of the crew, they get kicked off the ship in Antarctica, where they either die very quickly because they are not given adequate snow protection, or they find penguins having fun. They remind Bart that life has fun moments to enjoy throughout it instead of being focused on a single event. And a lesson is learned by all, which I think is an important one to have, because there's definitely this point where, especially as money becomes harder to get by and some people have issues spending money on themselves or to have something as quote unquote frivolous as fun, I think it is important to do the small fun things. Not everything should be a bank clean out level expenditure to have enjoyment. I like this one overall. I also would never go on a cruise ship.
Also, the Pandora strain,
Mm-hmm.
it really hits different after 2020.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that we didn't have giant, like 12-foot tall viruses breaking down the walls and hitting things with lasers. That would have made lockdown so much worse.
Think of the economy.
Yeah, a lot of episodes about pandemics or lockdowns, even like smaller localized things, definitely hit different. Like Bob's Burgers did one about butt worms, and it's one of those things where it's like, no, do not leave the house with your contagious virus, even if you have plans, or your contagious infestation. So irresponsible. Yeah. Remember that you need to take care of yourself, but you also need to take care of others. And sometimes doing one requires doing the other. Yeah, The Simpsons died in this episode, and that's going to be my new hot take. And I'm going to keep posting that on the Simpsons wiki at fandom until those fuckers restore hair color, because hair color is not trivial. Hair color is not an opinion. Oh, I'm sorry, Simpsons wiki mods. You don't like me calling out your bullshit? Maybe you should be better at moderating. We don't need to have Tushy have an incredibly sexualized wiki page that you're somehow fine with, but oh, you're going to remove all of the people who are tagged under characters with facial hair? That's bullshit. You're going to remove all of the familial tie tags? The other Simpsons wiki doesn't do that. You fucking cowards. You 5-pound bags of hair in an ice cube tray. Your crazy uncle who's ended up drinking all the golf pencils, and that's going to be a whole trip to the emergency room. And you've ruined Easter Sunday, Ronald. Yeah, it's been a while since I accidentally kicked off my war with the Simpsons fandom wiki moderators.
Yeah, I used to give thanks to them for having what they had now called frivolous tags.
Trivial.
Trivial tags.
You know what a trivial tag is? Who is a member of the Stonecutters? That is literal trivia. There are characters who are tagged who are only mentioned in that song. Those are trivia. It's the fucking Simpsons, these yellow people who keep getting new episodes. They just got renewed for another 4 seasons. They are inherently trivial.
I mean, yeah, basically what this wiki does is just kind of document Simpsons trivia.
And organize. And you're saying, oh, well, some characters change their hair color, so it's inconsistent. Then you make a tag for characters who change their hair color. That's what we're looking for. So we are at war. I'm excited for that to be our title for this one. The second episode is The Spy Who Learned Me, where Homer gets a concussion at work and gets 8 weeks paid vacation, but he keeps it from his family since he was getting on their nerves. His concussion helps him to hallucinate a James Bond type who teaches him how to seduce women for some reason. And then Marge comes to apologize for being short with him, discovers his lie, but then he admits the truth to her under the advice of the James Bond type and shows what he's learned. And it's all kind of forgiven. And then Bart in the B plot is getting stuck up for his lunch money by Nelson, so he decides to make Nelson fat by giving him a bunch of Krusty Burger coupons. And then Lisa feels bad, so she makes Krusty help Nelson lose the weight, and then he becomes an even stronger bully. What a weird one.
Yes, but also I enjoyed both plots very much.
I kind of zoned out during part of this one because it was the magic of Christmas. Christmas for everybody. Yeah, I think there's some interesting things going on here. I do appreciate the weird Nelson B plot. Because, yes, why not destroy the health of your bullies so they can no longer bully you? Is it ethical? Yes, it is.
Buff Nelson fight scene, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotta be like #1 fight scene this season.
I'm not sure. We've had a lot of interesting stuff this season.
But a fight scene, though?
I mean, this season, we had Exit Through the Quickie Mart, which had some interesting stuff. There was Homer fighting the robots and them robot. Don't forget Mo goes from rags to riches with all that fighting in there. I'm bullshitting. Much of this season has gone into my memory hole. Anything else to say about this one?
No, I don't think so.
The next one is Ned and Edna's Blend Agenda. Ned is cast as a Pharisee in the Passion play while Homer gets to play Jesus. Ned then gets injured on the set, and Edna ends up revealing that they got married and have kept it secret. They start to feel crowded, so they decide to let Marge throw a wedding celebration. And Edna, meanwhile, tries to connect to Rod and Todd, but she's worried that they aren't going to be ready for the real world, so she enrolls them in public school. This comes to a head at the wedding party where Ned gets frustrated and argues with her. But then, after sleeping it off at the Simpsons house and seeing Homer and Marge argue but stay together, he realizes arguments are just part of marriage and relationships, and that's true.
Skill issue. My relationship is perfect.
He be looking for a curse, Janine. No, I mean, I think there are naturally going to be some things that you have to learn to have discussions about, and there are going to be times where, for whatever reason, emotions are running high, or there's like 10 other things happening, or you're dealing with real estate and Christmas and like 5 other things, and it's just a lot, and you have to learn to manage your relationships in a realistic and healthy way. You need to learn to talk about why you're feeling what you're feeling. You need to learn how to like explain your points, especially if your partner is not getting them. And you need to one of the best things I've learned in my relationship is write down things as you're having discussions. That way you have a way to process what is being said, and then you can ask for clarity and ask if your summation of what they have said is correct or not. That's a romance pro tip. The more you know. I am sad because I know that Ned and Edna don't last forever, but I think there's some interesting territory while Edna is still around.
I think it also does a very good job at moving Ned more into a likable character now.
He's less flanderized.
Yeah, it's really putting him, like, not changing him up too much, but putting him in a more realistic place.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's important because he is a character who can have a lot of depth to him, but when he's just a one note or a foil, it doesn't come across. And then the last one is Lisa Goes Gaga, where Lady Gaga stops in Springfield at the same time that Lisa is voted as the least popular student. That's when a student posting as the truth teller starts to post positive things in support of Lisa, but then Bart finds out and reveals that she's the one posting those things. Lady Gaga senses that Lisa needs help and gives a concert, She finds out that she actually didn't help Lisa with the song because Lisa just wants to be ignored. So Lady Gaga continues her attempts to cheer Lisa up, but it doesn't help out, and Lisa calls her out and denounces her.
Jesus
So
Christ.
Lady Gaga leaves defeated, but then Lisa realizes that by getting angry, she actually feels better about herself, and the two of them sing a song together.
You're all hearing this too, right?
What?
Nothing.
Yeah. This would work so much better if they just made up a celebrity.
I mean, I love the tragic story that is going on with Lisa right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have loved for it to have ended in any other way.
Like, if Lisa didn't actually apologize to Lady Gaga.
Like, there's nothing to apologize for.
I mean, yeah, she is being made a public spectacle of. She's getting attention drawn. Her emotions are not being considered by Lady Gaga. And yeah.
Yeah, I think that I've heard a lot of people point to this one as the very bad of modern Simpsons, and I gotta say, this isn't modern anymore. And also, yeah, it's pretty bad. It's it's very grating how, I don't know, making fun of yourself to a particular point is, kind of expected when you're on The Simpsons. But this is at a
Self-serving.
particular, yeah, it is.
I know we'll eventually get to the Elon Musk episode, which is apparently even worse.
Ouch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Elon Musk, which means that he has people who pay to get him this sort of publicity and who will write things to get him attention, and he can't deliver a joke. And I think Lisa is put in like one of the like 5 main Lisa story archetypes where it's, oh, she's not popular, she wants to be popular, but here it just turns into a focus point on Lady Gaga, and just it feels like one note held on too long. And all the jokes about her are lazy, I guess is the term. They're unoriginal. And it's also weird how her train conductor looks like CeeLo.
I think that it feels like a Mary Sue fanfiction because Lady Gaga interacts with all of these key characters as if she has prior knowledge of who they all are and what the punchline is.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why it's very hard for me to watch, because I see this and I see basically a self-insert, and despite the fact that she's playing a parody of herself, it also is falling directly into the wheelhouse of what she doesn't mind people thinking about her.
It is a brand controlled parody. It is on brand. All of these jokes have been approved by her.
Yes, that is exactly it.
It's not like the now redacted Michael Jackson episode where there is something much funnier about a legally insane convict who talks and believes he is Michael Jackson, who's able to do Michael Jackson things, or a bunch of baseball players befalling dark fates due to coincidences.
Yes. It feels hollow.
It feels like a PR press release where it's, oh, look, Lady Gaga has made Lisa Simpson feel better about herself.
I don't need her to be brought low.
Mm-hmm.
But if she was...
We just need her dead. I'm offering 10,000 space $. For anyone who brings me the hide of Lady Gaga.
Oh my god.
All right. I feel like we've talked enough about these episodes.
Yes, and now we can go to
New characters unlocked! New characters unlocked include Rowan Pritis Magneto, Mr. Potato Head Stradivarius Kane, Pat Nelson, Cletus the Football Robot, and more. Love a song. I have a song in my heart, and when that song ends, I end. We are today discussing One Piece episodes 545 through 550. Are you ready?
yes.
These titles include Fishman Island is shaking, the landing of a celestial dragon.
Unexpected disaster. An assassin bullet shuts the future.
Back to the present, Hody begins to move.
The kingdom is shaking. Instruction for Neptune's execution.
Crack arises. Luffy versus Jinbei.
Hody's accident. The evil drugs to power.
All right. Look at you being all Lady Gaga.
Almost said it right this time.
What, Lady Gaga?
Nothing. Just keep on going.
Oh. So the Sun Pirates are finally able to return to Fishman Island because Jinbei had accepted the offer to become a warlord of the sea. Though Aladdin, who we're going to see him in a couple hundred episodes still hanging around, is apprehensive about the humans. Meanwhile, Queen Otohime, who is fighting for recognition by the world government, is still trying to get those petitions, and King Neptune is worried that Jinbei must now serve the world government. And honestly, Jinbei, considering what we have seen in recent modern One Piece, you got off pretty light, dog. You got off pretty damn light. So a celestial dragon ship comes crashing into Fishman Island, and Queen Otohime boldly goes to go and see if there are survivors. The last survivor is the celestial dragon Saint Mjolsgard, who demands that he be saved and then starts firing at the fishmen to help him. Hody Jones, who was a guard at the time, is like, no, he should die, and most of the other fishmen are like, yeah, no, we should do this. Especially because Mjolsgard reveals he has come back to reclaim his slaves that escaped. And that's when the Sun Pirates show up, and they're like, hey, we can beat his ass. And everyone's like, yeah, and we will cover this up. And Mjolsgard is like, don't like these odds. And that's when Queen Otohime gets in the way to protect him, because she's like, okay, yeah, this guy sucks, but if all of your kids see you murdering this human because of all the things that he's done, it's going to reinstill these generations of trauma, and that is when Mjolsgard takes the queen hostage. Shirahoshi, seeing her mom captured, cries out in fear, which summons a massive swarm of sea kings that then make Mjolsgard pass out in shock. This is when Vanderdecken realizes that Shirahoshi, who is 4 years old at this age, or at this point, has the power of the legendary mermaid to control sea kings. And this is when he decides to marry her, even though she is a literal child. So Aladdin goes in and saves Mjolsgard and plans to bring him back, and Otohime offers to travel with him to the surface to help and show trust and bravery and maybe talk to the world government. Vanderdecken then hears about the Tamate box, which is supposedly going to age up Shirahoshi, so he would technically be less of a creep, but no, you're still going to be a creep, Vanderdecken. You are still a creep. And then a week later, Otohime returns safely to Fishman Island. She has an official invitation from the Celestial Dragons and the world government to speak if she can get the signatures for her petition. And the children, inspired by what she has done, put in their petitions first, followed by more and more of the fishmen who now fully see that, Otohime isn't just talking a bunch of games. She is willing to go all the way to bring her dream into reality, and they fill up her box with petitions. So, yeah, there's a lot there, Janine.
There is. And, like, I know this bitch dies.
Mm-hmm.
This had me so fucking mad. I don't know. I would not trust Mjosgard.
Mm-hmm.
And I would not care. I would have to be restrained.
Yeah, I would help them bury him. I would help them feed him to a Sea King. But, we're going to see Mjosgard again.
Not excited for that.
You will not be ready for it, and you will be surprised. Also, I had to edit my notes here because initially it just said they started to fill her box. I was like, nope, I need to specify which petitions. So, Otohime reveals to her sons that only the legendary mermaid can speak to sea kings and reveals her hopes that Shirahoshi will be able to use her powers to save the world, but warns that if she ever gets too upset, she could also destroy the island, and so she has to make a promise to protect her. Someone ends up lighting the petitions on fire, and Otohime dives in to try and save them, and then she gets shot. In the chaos, Vanderdecken touches Shirahoshi with a hand, marking her with his powers, and Otohime tells her sons not to be angry on her behalf and let their hatred take over. That's when Shirahoshi starts to cry. That way her brothers work to cheer her up by acting silly and promise to look after her and recollect the signatures. And hey, that's the origin of all the brothers acting silly and just doing bits all the time. I told you it would come back. It would be kind of sad.
Yeah, dog. What the fuck? Like, this is some Hodor shit.
So, Jinbei discovers Hody with a dead human who he claims killed Otohime, and Jinbei orders that they hide the body. That way it won't go against the queen's goals, and Hody's just like, hey, look, this human killed the queen. Neptune, in anger, locks himself in the castle. That way he can be mad. Vanderdecken starts to send love letters to Shirahoshi, and Neptune's like, yeah, no, none of you kids are allowed to go and attend the queen's funeral. And he puts a warrant out for Vanderdecken for being a creep. During the funeral, Fukaboshi calls in a speech to say that if the fishmen aren't ready to sign things again, he understands, and they will keep trying in the future to follow the queen's dream, starting from the beginning. And this ends up helping them to get all of the signatures that they need. And that is the end of the flashback. Any other notes on the flashback? Can you believe that human killed Queen Otohime?
No, I can't. Because the person who, like, was around to discover it and reveal it was fucking Hody S. Jones.
Hody S. Jones. He got a duty to Shark Tech that booty.
So it's like, obviously, you know, there's a lot of room for a guy like him to play inside of that, you know, huge gaps of time we don't have enough flashback for. We're gonna get flashbacked again. Mark my words.
Okay, but what if they send the fish police on this? I'm talking about, like, Inspector Gill, Angel Jones is going to show up, all the people from the TV show as well, like Chief Abalone, Goldie, Sharkster, Calamari, Detective Catfish, Krabby, Pearl, Tadpole, Muscles Marinara, and Mayor Cod. What if they show up?
I feel like that was like the for real thing that had happened. Seth MacFarlane show, TV show, like, had its cast, and that was like the entire conceit of this entire thing that you just said.
Fish Police was an American adult animated TV series produced by Hanna-Barbera for CBS. It first aired in 1992 and then was axed after 3 episodes due to low ratings.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. It starred John Ritter, Ed Asner, Tim Curry, Hector Elizondo, Robert Guillaume, Georgia Brown, Buddy Hackett, Megan Mullally, Charlie Schlatter, Frank Welker, Joe Beth Williams, and Jonathan Winters.
Hey, America, did you not know that you had a fucking hit on your hands?
They did not. It only lasted between February 28th and June 16th of 1992. Fish police. Bow, bow, bow. He is a fish and also police.
We need to do it. We need to reboot Fish Police.
Well, there is strict law that's coming to Netflix. If you still have a Netflix subscription, make sure to say that you're interested in then. Even if you don't watch all the episodes, say that you love the series. Not just like it, but love the series on Netflix. Because apparently loving a series is positive. Only liking a series is a negative to that series getting picked up again and continued.
Love everything. Do not keep your heart to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Love generously.
And be prepared to go down if you ever need to. If they want it.
I meant like to support like the films that you like and shows that you like on Netflix.
Oh, that too.
Anyway.
Sorry, my wife just sent me a text message that just says hell, and it is then a Instagram ad for Boxland Media Studios offering you a podcast for only $249.99 an episode.
Ooh.
A discount from their normal $299 an episode.
You what? You buy a podcast.
You buy like the production on a podcast and have people do it. Folks, I am losing money on every episode of this show that we do. Like the Patreon that I have gets me $30 a month that mostly goes to supporting other artists who I can still afford. And if you enjoy the show and have a dollar or two to chip in, that helps. But yeah, this is not a $300 podcast. I pay for the cover each time, and then I've been paying Andy, and I think that the podcast sounds much better than I had been handling it before. Thank you, Andy, for making me sound great, and also making Janine sound very great.
I'm gonna sound great regardless.
You are.
But I do appreciate the work that you're doing, Andy. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, $300 an episode podcast aside, back in the present, Jinbei apologizes to Nami for what Arlong did, and Sanji's just like, Jinbei, kill yourself. And Nami's like, no, I forgive you because literally Arlong is not entirely your fault. And then Luffy wakes up because he fell asleep during the entire story. Luffy.
Everybody clap for Nami, who wanted to be able to say, I'm not a racist.
Fishman Island forever. So, Hachi reveals that Hody Jones, compared to Arlong, will attack anyone who is against him, fishman or human alike. And Fishman Island now has enough signatures that they can go and present relocating to the surface, but that is when a video transponder snail shows up. The new Fishman pirates have been forcing all of these citizens to step on the Queen's photo or get killed, and most of them have been going along with it because they are not willing to die for their beliefs. And Hody on the video declares that he is going to make a new kingdom where he is the king and the fishmen are going to be brought in from the Fishman district so they could live amongst the mermaids. And he reveals that he has captured Neptune, and there's a 3-hour time, and there are 3 hours before he goes to kill the king, beginning this new era. And he also has the box of petitions that everyone had turned in, and he plans to kill anyone who signed a petition in the past, and he starts to read their names off publicly. And he reveals that he has Usopp, Zoro, and Brook captured as revenge for what they did to Arlong. And then he is going to drown them in a room full of water. What a sort of countdown clock.
Yeah?
Yeah. We find out that the three of them tried to pretend to be dead, but Brook ruined their chances by doing bits, which, that's fair.
Honestly, I feel like those bits were like a pretty good distraction they could have used.
Mm-hmm.
They were just distracted because they were very good bits, so you had to no any chance to do anything. You just had to kind of like watch.
Yeah. So Luffy wants to fight, Shirahoshi wants to save her father, and Hachi reveals that Hody wants to kill Shirahoshi even if Vanderdecken wants to marry her. Luffy plans to return to the palace, but Jinbei stops him because if Luffy wins, this means that Fishman might still hate humans, and he tells Luffy to stand down. Meanwhile, trapped in the cell in the flooding room, Brook starts chanting Bone until he releases his soul from his body, which is a new trick that he learned when he had prayed for inspiration, and so he can now just shoot his ghost out of his body. Luffy tries to get back to Megalo, and Jinbei starts fighting him. That is when Robin shows up. Sanji tries to protect her from the fighting, and all the guys just end up punching each other. The princess, meanwhile, fights some no-name pirates before Dosen shows up to attack, but the princes capture him and those fishmen easily. Hody prepares to leave, but Zoro's injury is hurting him enough that he has to take more energy steroids, and then he starts heading towards the execution area, leaving only a small team behind at the castle. Brook, in ghost form, goes looking for Papagoo and ends up scaring him as a result because he is a scary ghost. Jinbei tries to explain complicated racial politics to Luffy, explaining that, hey, if you beat Arlong, who believed that fishmen were superior, and now you beat Hody, who believes that fishmen were superior, then it looks like humans are just taking down anyone who supports fishermen's rights. And Sanji's like, it doesn't really matter since Hody beat up Hachi. And Luffy's just like, I don't care about these politics. I just want to protect your home. And Luffy, not diagnosed, but pretty sure, once again.
Yeah.
I feel like it is something that is at least trying to grapple with the complicated racial politics that are going on here in a way that I appreciate.
Yeah.
Druma, meanwhile, attacks the candy factory, destroying it before leaving for the plaza for the execution. We find out that he is a cookie cutter shark, and so he just chews paths through everything like he's Minecrafting. The civilians are meanwhile worried about Hody's other men. Dosun, who is trapped and sad, is given a energy steroid, which allows him to break free and go on a rampage. And he reveals that he's going to kill any fishman with human blood. And he breaks the chains and defeats the Amo Knights who had captured him. Hyozu, who is the best swordsman on the island, who is better than Hachi is drunk, and he drunkenly attacks everyone who comes across him. And Zio reveals his power, which is he can camouflage himself. I appreciate Zio's commitment to the very dumb bit.
Yeah, I think that I love that just being some kind of fish animal person, you get superpowers just based on whatever that animal does.
Mm-hmm. Any animal.
I would love to be then an electric eel person.
Just like in the MGMT song?
Electric eel mermaid girl. Yeah.
Well, mermaid or fishman?
Wait,
Do
you saw the fucking explanation they have?
Mm-hmm.
There's thousands of ways for them to be fucky.
Well, no, but I mean,
I would want it to be like how Otohime has like kind of like that goldfish bottom half, but with like the bottom half of an electric eel.
Yeah, so that's a mermaid.
Yeah,
fishmen have legs.
Like I don't want legs. Fuck legs.
Hot take. Sorry, legs. You've been canceled.
I want to expel my eggs out of me, and I want to still give like sick head.
A shocking good time. People are going to be amped, but you'll have to stay up on all the current trends.
Are you done?
I mean, I have a lot of battery.
We have a lot more episodes.
Yes, I've got to keep doing fishman sex electric jokes. So, okay, I'm done. Does that make you feel positive or negative?
This is why we do this as a podcast, because if we were doing this in person, I'd have killed you by now.
Oh.
Man.
You tell him.
The princes, meanwhile, had to face Hody, knowing that they're going into a trap, because they assume that Hody has prevented the Straw Hats from coming in. And meanwhile, some other fishmen try and control a sea bear that's on energy steroids using fire, and that's when Ikaros freaks out until the fire is extinguished. It turns out that Ikaros lost his friend Daedalus, who swam too close to the sun. And so now he uses squid spears that take moisture from their target. I love how dumb Icarus is. Were you expecting an Icarus and Daedalus joke?
I wasn't, but I was so delighted. And I was even more delighted that the roles were reversed, because I wasn't seeing it coming.
You'll never see him coming. And that's when Hody, who's on his way, takes more steroids, and he transforms, becoming larger. His hair turns white, and his aura becomes more powerful, and he has the power to now single-handedly destroy an entire town. Hey kids, steroids are a great way to power up.
It'll make you Super Saiyan, but a fish.
More like Super Saiyan. Okay, we have characters to match now.
To me, my semen.
You want them to come?
So who do we have first to match?
90 episodes, Janine. 90. All right.
Drop your PowerPoint, buddy.
All right. So, up first, we're going back to Otohime. I didn't add a Rodrigo style for this one. My throwback is Queen Elizabeth I on that poster. I also have on Mona Simpson, who I think still fits. That is also supported by Reverse Eye Patch, and King Atticus says that it would be fine, but King Atticus also suggests Anne Boleyn, the inventor of Bolin. You know, with the balls and the pins.
Ah.
Da-da-da. Who do you have, Janine?
I'm going to be honest. I did not see this one on the outline, so I did not prepare a character for it.
Would you like me to go over who you had last time?
Yes, I would.
You had Jennifer Aniston or the Southern Colonel.
Oh my god. I'm a genius. Oh my god.
I am still firmly, I think Mona Simpson is a good fit as a revolutionary who's willing to risk everything, go down, protecting what she believes in, and to give people chances even if they don't necessarily deserve them, and sometimes it comes back to bite her. It frequently comes back to bite her.
Yeah, okay.
And she also left behind a big baby.
Yeah, okay. You've convinced me after all this time of Mona Simpson.
Haha, a point for Luke. We then have Mjolsgard, this weird green-haired, ugly man. Let's start with the listener suggestion. King Atticus suggested Homer from The Raven, which I think is an interesting one. My Rodrigo style is Dave the Lifeguard, who starts a cult on the cruise ship when they enter their dystopia era. My throwback is Mjol, the French Mo, because, you know, he has the similar sleazy energy, and his mustache is pretty much Mjolsgard's eyebrows. And then Frank Grimes Jr., because we don't think about Frank Grimes Jr. that much. Who do you have, Janine?
Well, for this round, I used 2 characters from the episodes that we've seen. In fact, for all of these, I have what I'm debuting right now, the double Rodrigo.
Rodrigo?
No, let's call it double Rodrigo. That's
Rodrigo. The double Rodrigo. Oh, we go.
That makes it sound like it is like a hot dog meal that's now on sale at your local Dairy Queen.
How about Rodrigo? Roggy. Fuck. What are your suggestions?
Okay, here we go. My first Rodrigo pick is actually Dave the Lifeguard. Very much a person who just kind of seems like an asshole that was just given the opportunity to be more of an asshole. Anyway, my second Rodrigo pick, and this one might be a little controversial, but I'm saying Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga?
Yes, I think that she definitely fits because she is a visitor that comes into a place and demands so much of them.
Would you be fine if Lady Gaga has a heel turn or a face turn?
I wouldn't care because for this moment, I would hope, I would pray that I could be able to think of a Lady Gaga celestial dragon, face all bloodied up with the gun, just shooting at fishermen. The idea of that, of holding that and knowing that that is canon in our shared experience of whatever the fuck these things are that we put together.
Is she as bad as J.K. Rowling?
I mean, to the structure of The Simpsons and Springfield as we know it, I feel yes.
I mean, later on, The Simpsons do address that she did not actually fix any of the problems that she was supposed to, and is yet another in the long stream of celebrities who have failed to save their town, even if they have promised to. So, you know what, Janine? I am good to use Lady Gaga on this.
Hell yes.
All right. We then have Saint Shiver Calero. Who do you have for Saint Shiver Calero?
I have cruise director Pretus and Wiggum Pontius Pilaf.
Did you say Pontius Pilate wrong?
Maybe. I'm eating chocolate right now.
Are you familiar with who Pontius Pilate is?
I don't care.
Okay. This has been Luke's aborted Bible moment. My Rodrigo was the International Brotherhood of Evil or whatever it was leader. He's got that mustache. His wife is fucked. Stradivarius Kane. I also had on Moe's Yeti father, who gives him the rag, and then Frank Grimes' father, who's actually just an arm. I want to go with the International Brotherhood of Evil leader. I feel like same energy more than Rowan or Pontius Pilate Wiggum.
I think that the fact that you used pictures of both of them holding alcoholic beverages like snide assholes really does sell it.
Hell yeah.
Because they're just like exuding the exact same energy inside of those fucking pics.
Hell yeah. Then we had Jean Noels, also known as Captain Porcupine Fish or Harrison Bone. My Rodrigo pick was Sleazy Sam, who delivers the bit that is set up in the Billboard gag, where he will show up. I also had the Chinese doctor who has to take the porcupine out of the room when Homer thinks that he was getting acupuncture, and then future Spike Lee. Who do you have, Janine?
Let's see. I have, for my first Rodrigo pick, Huffin' Puffalus.
Yep.
And for my second Rodrigo pick, Homer Christ.
Homer Christ, superstar, has to try and hit Bart with a car. In the opening couch gag, if it hasn't been truncated yet. We also got a fan suggestion from listener Reverse Eye Patch, and I always enjoy a Reverse Eye Patch suggestion because Reverse Eye Patch has currently earned our top fan suggester position. So are you ready with Reverse Eye Patch's wild take?
Sure.
Jagged Metal Crustio.
Huh. What are the similarities?
They are both spiky, poisonous. They have a small amount to do with the storyline, and afterwards, they help Lisa get connected to a jazz man.
Put another one on the board.
Hell yeah.
I can't find a reason against it. And also, it, unfortunately for us, is hilarious.
Reverse Eye Patch, you truly did amazing work because you also were the person who used your last free suggestion to select Jean Noels as an open character. So shout out, good job. All right. Up next we have Togare, who is a guy who is probably regretting his vote / petition signing. Who do you have for Togare?
Let's see here. I have Cletus the football robot as my first Rodrigo, and my second Rodrigo is the claymation teen Todd from Ned's Nightmare. You know the one.
Mm-hmm. They do like doing the Davy and Goliath style. My Rodrigo style was Treat Williams, because I'm pretty sure they have similar hairlines. The Toll Road Operator, because they have similar energy and kind of similar hair, and also they're both wearing headgear. And then Pot Crotch Homer, where Homer tried to shove the joint down his crotch and then the dog bite his crotch. Dog get high off his dick. His penis got him high.
Bitches get high off my shit too, though. That is incorrect. Nobody does.
We need to save our robots, because otherwise they don't go to heaven. I'm maybe could be considered. Do any of mine strike you as potentially good?
Not very.
I do like Toll Road Operator, but I'm going to throw away Claymation Teen Todd.
Yes.
Because we will forget this. All right, we then have Gotan, and this will be followed by Luca, who are anime-only characters who also find out that, oh, they were actually looking at our names. They're finding that we voted on these things. My Rodrigo was the movie general. I also had Dr. Egoyan, who was the euthanasia doctor, because I was just looking up anything talking about voting or rules or that sort of thing. It turns out that euthanasia has been voted illegal, so he gets arrested. And then I also had the Hall of Records clerk. Who do you have, Janine?
I had the Z Krusty and Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow.
Which, you know, I feel is just a shoo-in for Gotan for some reason. No, I would kind of cut down to the wire and had to think of names, and those were the best and funniest ones I could think of.
I think Tim Tebow here is funny.
Let's do it.
All right. I like how I spent like 20 minutes putting together those names and doing research. It's like, no, Tim Tebow funny. We then have Luca. She lives on the second floor. Who do you have for Luca?
I have the villain's mistress. You know the one.
Mm-hmm.
And Navi Marge from the Avatar couch gag.
So I had Lady Gaga. And this is my Rodrigo, but we can no longer use her because she is taken the queen hostage. And then campaign ad mom who wants to vote against things for families and kids, and then 90s Hillary Clinton who shows up there. I kind of like campaign ad mom most. Let's have a mermaid MILF.
I was gonna say yeah, but we could get Hillary, but like no, that's a negative MILF. That's the anti-MILF.
Mm-hmm. Too much cop. So campaign ad mom?
Campaign ad mom.
Need a campaign ad mom. All right. And then last but not least, we have Daedalus. 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 My Rodrigo was the giant virus. I also had Burns Octopus and then the Squid Flutter with lots of tentacles. Because we have used Squiddy in the past. Who do you have, Janine?
Alright, mine's gonna blow your fucking dick clean off of you. Pandora strain virus.
Hell yeah.
But also, Baby Goo Goo.
Let's just do Pandora. Let's just do the giant virus.
So that we don't have implications that a baby died? Sure.
Well, yeah, we don't want the implications.
I totally forgot about the Implies, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's the 54th annual the Implies, the National Implication Awards, where
You know what that means.
We aren't going to tell you you win. We're just going to imply it.
You know what it means.
You know the implications. Sephiroth! Alright, so our Otohime is Mona Simpson, our Mjolsgard is Lady Gaga, our Shiver Colada is the IBOE leader, our Jean Noels is Jagged Metal Crustio, our Togare is Claymation Teen Todd, our Gotan is Tim Thibault, our Luca is Campaign Admom, and our Daedalus is the Giant Virus. Janine, it's 90 episodes!
Holy shit.
I know. And guess what else?
No, tell me instead.
Okay. Oh, next time we only have one character to match, so that's going to be fun.
Ooh. What if I show up with a whole lot of names?
Janine, you are going to be very excited because we're going to get to open up one of the categories of things that I normally restrict us from using.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Which one?
It's one of them that I restrict in this very episode.
Robot?
Haha.
Oh my god. I'm gonna come at you with so many robots. I've been saving them in the freezer.
It doesn't really help battery life all that much. There was like a 1 year period where my mom was like, we need to store the batteries in the freezer or in the fridge. And then we just stopped doing that. And they just went back into the battery drawer. 90s kids, remember. Yeah. We are also getting the first, I believe, Simpsons short that we are going to be covering. But yeah, it's battle time, Janine. It's battle time. So, where can you be found online?
You can find me online at Bluesky, JanineJuliet.bluesky.social. You can find me on Instagram at Janine is dope. I also do another podcast, Wrestle Girlies, with the artist Flighty Buttlass, where we update whenever I feel like it. But I'll keep on mentioning it because I'm a podcaster, no matter how successful I am. And that is something that all of those big wigs making Spotify money
Here to talk about
can never.
The Simpsons. Who's here to talk?
Oh my god.
With me.
He's playing me off. He's playing me off.
Say everyone knows it's Janine.
Luke, where can you be found? Where can you be found, Luke?
You can find me in hell. You can find me online as at Koltreg, that's KOLTREG, or at lukehair.com, or there's a Patreon under my name. So if you go to patreon.com/LUKEHERR, you can donate a few bucks, and you usually are the first person to get access to the episodes. And I am also probably going to be putting some links to script reads that I have done in there for scripts that I have written, because I've written another like 12 scripts this year. You know I'm busy, right, Janine?
Yeah, you just be writing them scripts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've written like another dozen or so feature-length scripts this year. It's great. So, yeah, find me online there. Support me on Patreon if you've got a few bucks. Our cover art this week and also last week is by Kris Dobbins. You can find at Kris Dobbins Art at bisky.social or Kris Dobbins Art, that's KrisDobbinsArt.com. Our podcast was edited by Andy. You can find her at winf.co.uk on Bluesky. DohMance Dawn updates semi-weekly. That means every other week. We are on Bluesky at DohManceDawn.com, or you can just visit our website, DohMance Dawn. Also, if you use Reddit and are part of the One Piece Discord, keep an eye out for where I post the 10 new cover images, because I do that every 10 episodes, so I only get 2 of those posts a week, or 2 of those posts a year, and it helps to theoretically bring new people onto the show. All right. Thank you for listening to the show. It has been a blast doing this for 90 episodes. Here's to at least another 10 more, but I'd really love to get some more listeners on, get some more comments, get some more folks in the Discord. So if you enjoy the show, please make sure to share it with people, even if you just share the cover art and tell people where they can find things, because we put a lot into every one of these episodes, and I am proud of what we do. Until next episode, smooth sailing!